Well, hi there, YouTubers. Welcome back for another episode of building a 3/8 scale ball hopper monitor. Today, I think we're going to try to bore this hunk of cast out. We need to bore it out, I'm going to say, almost an inch and a half, 1.5. A little bit smaller, that way it'll leave me a couple thou to hone it. But it doesn't have the best way of throwing that in a 4-jaw chuck. You'll see what I mean in a minute. It's kind of a oddball piece. And yeah, I could set it up in the mill. Yeah, I could set it up and line bore it, but I want to do it the easiest way as possible. So I think I have a way of doing it. I think it'll work. Without using a steady rest. I thought, oh, I'll use a steady rest, but I can't on that big lathe. The waves don't come out where I need to be. So I'll meet you guys over at the lathe in a minute. Alright, back to working on the monitor engine, ball hopper. I spent a while trying to figure out the best way to bore this out what I have here. I came up with this way. I was fine with these 2 jars. They're solid, but I wasn't too happy about these 2 jars. They're holding but very little. So what I did, I cut a piece of aluminum, put it in the middle, and made like a drawbar. That way it cannot pull out of the chuck. I'm not going to take heavy cuts. I don't care if it takes me an extra 15 minutes longer. I just don't care. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I don't want this thing all smashed and broken. So I took my time, did a bunch of dialing it in. Figured I got pretty much as happy home. Did a bunch of little tinkering here, pushing around. So I finally got it dialed in with, I don't know, we're going to say about 5/1000 of an inch. Which is pretty damn good for rough casting, because, you know, you got two parts here, and here's your parting lining. And it's shifted, it's off a little bit, so. But that's fine, that's nature of rough casting. So I've done some measurements. Yeah, I'm happy with it. So now I just I'll have to set some tools up and start doing some rough boring. I think this has got to be bored out. Well, I think the final size is what, 1.5 inches, or 1.5 inches plus 1 or 2 thou. Doesn't matter, long around there that I can make the piston fit. So that's why I wanted to do the cylinder first, because making the piston fit is no big deal. So I've got everything all nice and tight right on the chuck. So I'm happy with that. Okay, we're back. I set up my boring bar. I was hoping I had a 3/4 inch boring bar, but I don't. This is a 5/8 boring bar. It's a little sketchy, but it'll do. I'm just roughing it out, and then so I can get it big enough to put my inch boring bar in, and that'll take it, no problem. I bored out lots on this engine, so it's fine. So, like I said, I'm not taking heavy cuts, and I'm pretty happy how it's going to come out. Yes, I could take the compound off and line bore it, but I don't have, well, I could make a line bore, or I probably do have one. I've just never done it on this engine, so, I mean, on this lathe, so. I figured this is just a quick, easy way to do this, and I'm not too worried. So we'll get these guys started up and we'll start literally boring. It's gonna take a while, so. You can see I got the body pretty dialed in, pretty close for rust casting. I'm happy with that. So. I'm just taking a light cut, just not gonna be breaking record here. Alright, it's been a little while. I was able to do about 40 thou cut at a time. That was with a little boring bar. And I wasn't doing too bad. I'm finally chewed out to about 1.25 inches. So now I can stick my 1-inch bar in. At least that won't... it's a lot more stylish. It's a stronger bar. So, eventually getting there. And I've got it down to 5 inches, down to about here. What the plan says, so. Now I'll just hook up my other boring bar and then we can finish it. And then, don't think I can finish it today. I have to get my little baby hone here, which at my brother's, so. Then I'll leave it about 2 thou undersizing, or maybe 3 thou, I'm not too sure. And then we'll hone it to finish. Okay, now I'm just starting the first cut. Well, this is the last cut. I left about, just about 3 thou for it to hold, 2.5 thou. And that'll give us 1 thou over 1.5 inches. So that's perfect. That's what they're calling for in the blueprint. And I have repeatedly measured it many times. I'm within 1/2 thou, so everything's really good. And I chewed out a lot of cast out of this little body, so. And no problem so far, so. Let's just keep going that way. Okay, it finally finished boring it out. I left it 2 thou smaller, and if that, so that way I can hone it out and have a perfect finish. Or basically I'm gonna hone it towards a perfect finish, and then for that, so I'm done with this setup on the lathe for this. Okay, I pulled the monitor ball hopper cylinder out of, well, the body out of the lathe, and I machined it to a little under 1.5 inches. So now I've got a little honer. It's a stunning honer, and I got 2 grips. This is kind of a, they're both fine grip, but this one's just a little more rougher than this is a fine one. This is just a tad little rougher. I tend to like it a little bit of I don't like to have it totally polished. I like a little bit of grip when you hone out the cylinder. That way when you put the rings in it and when it runs, it all seats itself in. If you have it totally polished, you always have a blow by or something. It's just not going to hold the compression. It'll always just kind of sneak by, and I like everything to be seated in best as I can. So what we'll do is we'll hook this on the drill, and we're just going to go back and forth motion. We try to do at least about a 45 degrees back and forth. You know, you don't have to go crazy at it, but and then also I use the real honing oil. It's not cheap, but it does work. I think you can use kerosene, or some people have used diesel. I know kerosene. I'm pretty sure with that, but I'm kind of lucky. I have a brother, Ryan. Every time I need any type of tooling or anything, I just usually let him know, and he'll go out and buy it for me. He's always backing me up on these little models for sure. So, or any machining project. So we'll get this set up, and then we'll go see the honing process. Alright, I got it secured in the vise. I'm not taking, not going to be tightening the heck out of it. I don't need to hone it that hard. So what I did, I got the honer, I put the stones in. These were the ones that were a little coarser, and I also made a mark on the orange around there. That way I don't go too far in and bottom out quite I got an end in there. I don't want to smash the stones or anything or wreck the honer. Good, my honing oil. Good enough. Alright, see if you guys can see in there. See, I'm getting a nice little scratches. I'm gonna stay with that grit. I really like that. So I just got a little more honing to do, and then I will take some measurement to make sure it's same size at both ends, and then we'll have a perfect cylinder. Well, that little honer sure worked great. I got my little inside mic, and I've already made sure measuring from the top to the bottom, and I'm 3/1000 of an inch bigger than an inch and a half, which is fine. We're just gonna make the piston a little bit bigger than that, probably 5/1000 bigger than an inch and a half, but that can be easily fixed. I guess when I bored it out, I probably went straight to an inch and a half, and that's what I probably did. I forgot about the honing, but oh well, that's okay. But I'm very happy with all my cross hatching now. It's straight as it needs to be. Actually, probably better than better. But yeah, it's just a handy little tool to have, especially for modeling small stuff. But they're not cheap to buy, I'll tell you that. They're good make, but they're not cheap. They were made in the good old USA. have no issue with them at all. I've got several Sun and Honins and they're great. Alright, I kind of figure what we'll do next. Sooner or later I got to put a mounting plate on here, and that way I can always bolt this on and I can take it in and out of the lathe and always be able to dial back to 0 I want to be. So you'll see that later. So, but I think for right now I'm going to go ahead and put all the holes. There's 8, well 4, but 2 sets of holes we got to put on here. One for the head and one for the hopper. And it's pretty simple, really. What we'll do is we'll bolt here, hole here, hole here. Well, 2 sets of holes in this way. So we'll put this on the mill, putting it on an angle like this, and try to find where our best homes are for drilling these holes. But we want to have them kind of lined up with these little casting marks. So, because the first one will be for the head, and then the hopper will be back out here. So, okay, I got the body, well, the body set up in the mill. I clamped it. So what I did was I just kind of found my happy spot where I would like to have a stud, or put a thread in, and just ran the table. I'm getting there. Oh, right there, and what you can see again is in kind of the center. So I call that way happy. I'm happy with that, and I did the same thing with the other way with the table going sideways. So I'm happy with that. So all I'm going to do is put a dial indicator in here, find my 0, and I know that's an 1.5 inches. Do some measurements, and then I think we have a 2-inch bolt circle and a 2.5-inch bolt circle to put in. So, and then this way I can work out this way and this way and this way, and I don't have to move the body or anything, so I can do it all in one setup. So the easiest way I could figure it out, I could put it on a dividing table, but rotary table, but time I put it on here, this mill doesn't go high enough, and this is a fairly big piece of casting for a little model, so this way will work. Okay, I was able to set the dial indicator, and I just kept sweeping it around in a circle till I got the best I could get it. I got it within about a half a style. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to argue. I don't know if you guys can see it, but so now I'll lock the table, that way I don't move anything, and put my little indicators to all to 0, but I'll use dial indicators, and have to write down what the bolt hole circle we need, and yeah, and then that way we can start putting some holes and thread some holes. Okay, I've got the table locked in this way, so that way we can't move side to side. All can come is forward and backward. I got my dial indicator 0. I have this 0 just in case anything changes. I like to have backup. So this is the small one's a 2-inch bolt circle. So, and 2-inch bolt circle. So what I got to do is half of that, come back my way 1 inch, and also go 1 inch forward, but we always want to come back to 0. So oh, that's why I got my dial indicator. Come back, see, hit 0. Oh yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, both lined up 100%. I'm very happy where that's pointing. What I'll do, just to make sure everything going to what I want, when I put a dot there, I'll use my caliper to make sure I reach over 2 inch, just to make sure everything looks equal. I always like to be careful when I do this, 'cause I don't want to really screw it up. perfect. You know, we fixed it, but I hate fixing things when my own screw up. Okay, and then we can start threading. Okay, I tapped the first hole. Everything went pretty good. You always gotta be extra careful when you tapping with really small taps. Like, well, that's not really small, but it's small enough. It can break very easily. So now, since I'm done that, now I want to move back here because I just want to first worry about doing my 2-inch bolt hole circle, and that's all. I'm tapping that out to 6:30 seconds. So, and man, it's sure cold out today. Tonight. It's about what 11:30, minus 35 out, and that would be what, that's in Canada and the States, that would be minus 25. It's freaking cold. So sure taking a lot of firewood in this shop this year. But now what we'll do is we'll move this back to 1 inch back, and then we'll reset the dial indicator for an inch going that way, because this is only a 1 inch dial indicator, so it'll work. So and there you go. We tap that hole. Now I will bring my table back to 0, and then lock the table this way so I can't move, and then I'll unlock the table going this way, and then move it in an inch this way, and then come back and do an inch there. So I will I still got a chamfer that, that's no big deal. I'm not going to record all the putting all the bolts, well, the threads in. You've already seen what I was doing with the one, so I'll get this done and then we can move on to something else. Okay, I finished tapping all the 2 sets of holes. So that's another thing that's done. All I did at the end, I didn't show on camera, was when I first tapped the hole, I used like a tapered tap. And then at the end, when I'm done, I use a bottom end tap. That way I get my thread right to the bottom. So I thought I'd just show you guys just the difference. So I guess I'll leave the video like this. We'll end it here. And I'm not too sure what will be the next thing. Maybe we'll do the hopper or something. But I was quite surprised how many people were kind of interested in wanting to watch this. So I'll try to pump out a couple more videos I'll try. So, but thanks again for watching, and do your thing, like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one.